no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
If you bleed silver and black, if your heart looks a lot like this, go ahead and subscribe to the Raiders Report. And if you want to get your questions featured on the show, you got to join us during our live mailbags every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. This first question is coming in here from Jake Crean. Appreciate it. Love the show, Mitch. Best way to stay up to date with the Raiders from overseas. Keep up the good work. Say no to the Super League. So, bonjour, Jake. Appreciate you watching the show, and I'm glad you enjoy what you're doing. All right, let's go to Looney Rooney to the moon. Mitch, invest, please. Go Raiders. I'm not going to invest in Doge. I'd rather you guys invest in the Raiders Report. It's 100% free. Links below. All right, let's go to Eddie. What up, Eddie Lento? I just saw a video that had Hicks higher than Barmore because of playing time plus technique. What's your take? It's a bad take. That's my take. Like, there's not a better defensive tackle in this year's class than Christian Barmore. I don't care what anybody says out there. If somebody's going to tell me that Barmore shouldn't be the number one DT, then they're lying to you. I'll also say this. This might be the worst defensive tackle class maybe in the last 10, 15 years. I've actually heard some people say it's the worst DT class of all time. That might be a stretch, and I don't want to say that because I haven't been around that long, only 28 years of life. But in a long time, I'm going to say in the last 10 years, this is the worst DT class. All right, this one's coming in from Max Vanderbilt. Hey, Mitch, Bruce Irvin is a free agent. He knows the Bradley scheme and has ties with the Raiders. Why not get him? So I get that Bruce Irvin, right, is a player that used to play with us, and I always think it's funny how Raider Nation is connected to certain players, and Bruce Irvin was a pretty good player when he was with us. There's no doubt about that. However, I mean, he's coming off a pretty wicked injury, right? He's 34 years old, and anytime a 34-year-old's coming off an ACL injury, I'm going to notice. I get that he was a first-round draft pick by Bradley in 2012. However, I am simply going to say that there's a reason why Bruce Irvin is still out there, because when he's healthy, he's a good football player. However, if you want to be able to bring him in on a one-year vet minimum type of contract, maybe you go ahead and do that, but I don't think Irvin and his team would be open to that. So how about this? Should the Raiders go out and sign Bruce Irvin? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. I get the connection with Bradley. I'm just simply going to type my N for no, because for the Raiders, it's just not the move that I think makes a lot of sense for your football team right now. Like, do they have the money to be able to do it? Yes, they do. I don't care what anyone says. You can make money work. But I don't know if he's 100% healthy. He's 34 years old, and this is a team going more of a youth movement. I almost said Jim Mandick. You think Parsons will fall to us? As a diehard PSU fan, trust me that he will be good. My worry is the Pats will scoop him up if they don't get a quarterback or trade up for one. I'm with you. I actually think that if Parsons does slide down, like if he gets past Denver, I think the teams that are most likely to take Parsons, the Broncos, the Giants, and the Patriots. If the Patriots don't end up taking a quarterback, I could see them going with either Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah or Micah Parsons. But I'm with you. I like Parsons a lot on the field. His off-the-field stuff does scare me a lot, but if you're a Penn State fan, are you from Pennsylvania? Because I grew up going to a lot of Penn State games as a kid. Happy Valley is one crazy area. There's a reason why it's called Happy Valley. JT Douglas, another super chat. Hey, everyone. Let's do a go-ahead count. Everyone knows Mitch says go ahead about every 10 seconds. Let's count them in his next show. Go ahead. All right, this next one's going to be coming in here from the Sorceress Stoned. Why would Heath start over Joseph? I'm simply saying that he would start over Joseph because he's the better free safety for what the Raiders need in a cover 3 scheme. If I'm being realistic, I'm really hoping that Heath and Carl Joseph both don't start. I'm hoping that they're just depth players. So it's just how I personally feel, and I think also because Jeff Heath was there last season, that's how it is right now at this current juncture. I'm not saying that's how it's going to be week 1. I'm saying as it sits right now, Jeff Heath I'd rather have at free safety. All right, we got Portillo003. Hey, Mitch, grade my trade. We gave the Chiefs, we give 17. Chiefs gives us 31, 63, 160. Oh, boy. Okay, it's a lot of draft picks. Would I actually be okay with this move? Yes, I would. The issue is this. I would be shocked if the Raiders traded with the Chiefs. The reason why you don't see interdivision trades is simple. Both teams don't want to help out each other. So it's a cool idea. It's a trade that I actually would end up doing because I think the Raiders can get more picks here. However, I don't think the Raiders are going to go ahead and trade with Kansas City. If you live in Kansas City, if you live in any city out there, Las Vegas, Dallas, it literally does not matter. Chicago, Boston, whatever your zip code is, the Newsbreak app is going to be useful for you. Go to chatsports.com/RaidersNB where you can go ahead then and download the Newsbreak app. If you're trying to stay up to date on weather, politics, stuff that's going on in your city, this is a great, great app for you. If you're a foodie like me and you want to find out the best spots to eat, you can go ahead and get all this information here. The reason why I'm telling people to go ahead and check out Newsbreak, we just signed a nice little deal with them, and every person that goes to chatsports.com/RaidersNB, not only is it going to help you, it also helps me out a lot too. So how do you go ahead and follow the Raiders Report on Newsbreak? You go to chatsports.com/RaidersNB. That link is going to be in the comments and in the description. Search Raiders Report and then follow the Raiders Report. If you're looking for more exclusive content, more videos, I put more videos on the Newsbreak channel. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Go check it out. Help me out here because we're having a competition at Chat Sports. Whatever channel has the most followers on Newsbreak, we get a nice little extra PTO day. So if you guys could help me out, I would appreciate it. Go to chatsports.com/RaidersNB. All right, Angus Mather, can you rank each of these positions in terms of depth in the 2021 NFL Draft? Offensive tackle, free safety, linebacker. All right, so I would say this. Offensive tackle is by far number one. I'd probably say top heavy is linebacker, and then free safety would be number three because there's going to be three linebackers that I can guarantee go in round one. Joke, Parsons, Jamin Davis. Zaven Collins might go in round one. In terms of free safeties, the only person that I see going round one is probably Mayock. But overall, tackle, then I'm going to go linebacker, then free safety. And what should you prioritize? Whatever is the best value there. And I know it's a shitty answer, but if I had to rank it, I'd probably go Joke, Parsons, Teven Jenkins. That's probably the most realistic. You're just a sick man. I pour milk before cereal. Do we trade Carr and fire Mayock if we miss the playoffs? The only way that you're trading Carr is if Carr has an absolutely terrible season, and then it's like, what are you going to get for him? Like, if the Raiders go 3-14 this year, maybe you end up firing Mayock, but, like, it has to be the players that you drafted have to be an absolute disaster. I don't see Carr getting traded. I don't see them moving on from Mayock, so I'm simply just going to say no. If you guys bleed silver and black, then go ahead and subscribe to the Raiders Report for more videos, and remember to turn on those notifications. I tell people every single week, turn on your notifications, make sure that you got them turned on, because when breaking news happens, I want you guys to know about it, because when you turn on your noties, think about it. If you ever get a text message and it pops up on your screen, that's what notifications do. Like, oh, wow, the Raiders Report just released a video. Oh, wow, the Raiders just signed Rasul Douglas. Like, I want you guys to know that stuff. And the reason why, also, you can get a little bit of love here on the Raiders Report. So, shout out to the first comment club from April 16th to the 13th. Untouchable Raider 1960. I think this is like the fourth or fifth straight week you've been featured on the show. Also, shout out to Dominique 5, Jimmy Galandino, and then Keith Johnson. Appreciate you guys watching the Raiders Report, a part of that first comment club. All right, y'all, if you want to get your questions on the show, use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. Oh, another one, $50 Super. Okay, Jose, I see you. Mitch, drink up. I love the show, and I liked your Vans trade. I think you're trying to... Vikings one? Is that the one where I was trying to get the I forget what language it was, but okay, gotcha. We have to protect DC plus defense has to improve. You're better than Gruden after throwaway those first-round picks before. Okay, Jose, hang on a second. I appreciate that you like the show, first off, and I appreciate that you like the Vikings trade, which I believe is the one that you're talking about, and you're better than Gruden after... That last part, my man, I have no idea what you're going for. But I appreciate the super chat. I promise y'all, every $50 super, I'll take a shot of Fireball, and we're at what? 340 in super, so $80 away from making every single person here at Chat Sports take a shot of Fireball. Jose, cheers to you. All right, let's go to this next one from Rubik. Jabril Cox in the second round. Jabril Cox is, I think it's funny how Jabril was a player that I first started talking about 3 months ago, and I'm like, this is the guy that the Raiders need to get in round 3. And now he's starting to get some second-round love. Like, if you're looking for a coverage linebacker, Cox is a great fit here, right? So let's say you miss out on Jeremiah Wills-Cormore. Let's say you miss out on another player that you're looking for that can be a coverage linebacker. If you could get Jabril Cox at pick number 79 and 80, I think that's an absolute steal. Would I take him at pick 48? It's a little bit of a reach for me, especially because linebacker isn't like the biggest need. So if I'm going to say, hey, this is where I want Cox, giggity, I would say take him at pick number 79 or 80. Let's go Doge Moonwalker. Okay, if the Raiders miss on a free safety with their top 2 picks, who should we target at pick 79 and 80? Thanks, love the show. All right, so basically you're saying, so if we miss out on Merrick and if we miss out on Richie Grant, who are 2 other safeties that we could go with? I'd say my top 2 other guys that we would pick in round 3. First guy is Jamar Johnson, safety from Indiana. He's 6'1", 197 pounds. I know my man Graphic Raider would say he reminds me of John Johnson. That might be a little bit of a stretch, but the one thing I will say about this, Johnson is an absolute ball hawk. 43 tackles, 4 interceptions, 4 pass breakups. Like, he's not afraid to get after the football, but he does sometimes overcommit and get burned. Another player that I think has very high upside, very low ceiling, is a guy like Andre Cisco, where he's a good prospect, and when he had his first year at Syracuse as a freshman, 7 interceptions. Has not really had that good of a season since. His tape sometimes can be spectacular. His tape also can be very inconsistent. But if you were to ask me the best free safety fit in round 3, I'm going to say Johnson or Cisco. So who do you think out of those 2 players is the better safety? If you're going to sit here and say Jamar Johnson, I want you to type JJ. If you're trying to keep it cool, go with AC, Andre Cisco. Let me know down in the comments section, who do you think would be the better safety for the Raiders at pick 79 or 80, Jamar Johnson or Andre Cisco? Now, obviously, I can't get to every single one of y'all's questions, and I just hope you know that, I try really hard to get to as many questions as possible, but I will promise you this. I go to my DMs literally every single morning before I go to the gym, and I answer you guys' questions. If you want me to grade your mock drafts, please give me a follow. Hit me up on IG at Mitchell Renz 365. All right, let's go to Steven. Van Valkenburg. Mitch, do you think Johnathan Abram will be a Pro Bowler someday? Oh, man, I want to say yes. But if he doesn't get it done in this year or next year, I'm going to say it's never going to happen. Does he fit in what Bradley's going to try to do? Yes, absolutely. I also think it really depends on what system they try to run. If they use Abram the way that I'm hoping they use him, where like the Seahawks used Jamal Adams and like the way Bradley used Cam Chancellor in the past, then you're going to be really successful. If they ask him to cover a lot more and they ask him to be not as aggressive, that's going to hurt him. The only thing that hurts Abram, though, is him. Like, this is a guy who wants to take guys' heads off. He needs to be a little bit more disciplined. But obviously, when you take somebody in round 1, you're hoping they become a Pro Bowler. But from what I've seen so far, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say no. Randy Bristol, if we grab Ingram, do we still draft Joke at 17? So if we go out and get Melvin Ingram, do we take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah at 17? No, I don't think so. I think the better question is actually, if we draft Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah at 17, do we sign Melvin Ingram after the draft? Because I think what you're going to see is a lot of these veterans, they sign after the draft, especially the teams that feel like, hey, there is a major need there. But I think if Joke is picked, no, the Raiders don't go out and get Melvin Ingram because he's going to want a little bit too much money. And I already said it before on my earlier show earlier in the week, I'd rather, if I'm going to take an edge rusher, a veteran edge rusher, give me Justin Houston over Melvin Ingram. Let's go to 808 Raider. Where would you rank our offense and defense this coming season? I mean, it's still so early. I would say offense with the unknown entities at offensive line, probably somewhere around 13, 14. And as it stands right now, until our defense improves, I mean, I can't put us in the top 20. So I'll say 12 offense and maybe like 22, 23 defense. All right, if y'all want to shout out, let me know in the comments how many games you've gone to. And I just saw that we got another super chat. So we are $26 away from making everyone here at Chat Sports take a shot of Fireball. So, all right, Jose, you're kicking my ass today, man. I appreciate you, though. All right, let's go to it. Let me know in the comments how many games you've been to, and I'm going to give some shout-outs here as I also have to take a shot of Fireball. And a reminder, 420 likes during the live show. Sam takes a shot of Fireball. We're 40 away from that mark as well. Raiders, drink up, Mitch, and salute. I mean, you're better coach than Gruden. I appreciate that, but I don't think that's true. Gruden, I mean, that's the funny thing. Like, I know I run this show, and I have my opinion. It's really hard to be a coach in the NFL, and I don't want to take it away from those guys. Just thinking for the Raiders better than him. I wish he at least listening to you. I do think at times, like, they at least watch the show. I don't think they listen to me. I think that's a big difference. But I know for a fact that there's players and coaches that watch the show. I mean, I know for a fact that they do. So I appreciate it. Jose, also as a reminder, I owe you a shot or a drink in the future. So here's the thing. We just got a $24.99 super, but we're at $419.33. So technically, we didn't hit $420 yet, but I do want everyone out there at Chat Sports to get ready because I guarantee you we get it here quick. All right, let's go to this super chat from Cruiser Tim. What do you think about Elijah Molden? Like him a lot. Cornerback from Washington, really starting to shoot up draft boards. He could be an outside corner. I know he's like a little bit of unknown entity, but it's just because a lot of people don't watch Pac-12 football, at least guys on the East Coast. But if you're from the West Coast, you know that he's really talented. I think he goes in the second round, so I don't think the Raiders will be able to get him at pick 79 or 80. And I also don't see the Raiders going with a cornerback on day 1 or day 2. All right, let's go to Reliza Norteña. Raiders, drink up, everyone. So, again, we're at 390 likes. If we get to 420, we'll get there. And then he said, there we go, laugh out loud. So what I want everyone to do, once this gets wrapped up here, because we crossed $420 in Super Chats, I'm going to make the guys out there come in here and take a shot. So just be ready to get that going. But I appreciate everyone watching the show. And if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and hit that big red button that says subscribe.